Hey guys, how's it going? It's Ron from Average Canadian Tech here. Today we got a Galaxy S20 FE in for a screen repair. Technically it is a screen repair, but we're going to be considering this a teardown simply because we're taking literally everything out of the phone. We can see that crack up in the corner there. There's nothing on the camera lens, I don't think. I'm just checking to make sure because I noticed a lot of these do have cracked camera lenses. Anyways. Here's the other piece that we'll be putting everything into. As you can see, it's pretty empty. It does have the volume and power button already put into place, but everything else will need to come out and be put in from the other phone. Let's see how everything lines up. It does have a bit of glue already applied for the battery, so we don't have to worry about that. Anyways, we're going to get into opening up the S20 FE now. I've already done a repair on this phone before with taking off only the screen. We don't have to take out nearly as much for that sort of thing, but in this one we are. So heat up the back to about 80 degrees Celsius. I mean, you don't have to do this, it's a plastic back, but to avoid any creasing or anything like that, because it's a high-end phone, might as well heat it up a little bit and treat it as if it is a glass back. I'm going to put a little bit of rubbing alcohol on it to help loosen the glue. Does help out if you're peeling the back off anyway without using the pry card anyway. Just keep working your way around the edges. And eventually it'll come away enough that you can actually peel it away very easily, as you can see right now. So there's the back glass. We're just going to continue on here. Just going to take out all the screws for the back plastic piece with the wireless charging pad attached to it. There's not a lot of screws, the same as any other Samsung, so get them all out. I do not think the order really matters too much. They're not really any different sizes, but the bottom ones are, as we'll see in a sec. So we're just going to get the bottom screws out now. To me they did look a little bit different size than the top ones, so I'm trying my best to keep them separated from the top screws. Almost done this process. There we go. So now once all the screws are out, we can remove the plastic pieces in the bottom speaker. Should come away pretty easy. It is just clipped in a little bit, so it's not the worst thing to take out, but it will require a bit of force. Similar to most of the other S20 series, the wireless charging pad has its own connector to the logic board, so you will have to disconnect that. It's not just contact pins. It also is glued down to the bottom speaker just a little bit. It's not that strong, but make sure you do not rip the wireless charging pad. Now we can remove the bottom speaker. It's easiest to lift in from the top, and then it should pull away, as you see just there. Not too hard. Now we have to remove the cable that goes over the battery. This connects the charging port and everything down there, like the screen and everything, up to the logic board. Got to remove that fingerprint scanner. There is a screw holding down the charging ports and the fingerprint scanner. Once that's out, we should be able to pull it away pretty easy. It is glued in very lightly, but nothing too crazy, so it should pull out pretty easy. As you can see right there, there's the charging port. Forgot to mention as well, disconnect the signal wire, of course. There's two of them. There's the red one and white one there. The fingerprint scanner, the optical one there, can pull out pretty easy. Let's put that to the side. The vibration motor is incredibly small. I have not seen a kind of high-end phone or even a budget high-end phone, budget flagship have that small of a vibrator, but um, I guess it works. Here's the front-facing camera, actually bigger than the vibration motor, which I've never seen. Um, Now we got to remove the main camera and the wide-angle one at the bottom. These come away very easy. They're kind of just pushed into the frame. They are all in one piece, I guess, but like they're not really held together all in one frame. They just go in into their own slot into the frame that's attached to the phone already, like the mid plate. There is this weird cable that goes down the side. Not sure exactly what it's for. I guess it's for maybe an antenna or something, but we have to remove this. It is glued in to the frame as well. We have to use a bit of tweezers and kind of take it out very nicely. There's a blue cable that goes up to the logic board. I'm just going to leave them connected up top there. There's no point in really disconnecting them. When we reassemble the phone later, we're going to put them back in the same place. Do not forget to take out the SIM tray. We're going to take out the motherboard after that, and it's not the hardest. Just give it a little wiggle and it should come away pretty easy. I did not have the easiest time. It took quite a bit of wiggling, but I imagine it was just me. Anyway, there's the logic board. Has the signal wires still attached up that go down to the charging port and everything down below the battery. I also noticed, I don't know if these are antennas as well, I'm sure they are, but there's these little things that don't seem to attach to anything. I guess I can't find any contact pads or anywhere they would attach, but as you saw, I just took one out on the top of the phone there on the right side. To me, that's probably where the 5G antenna should be, but it looks like more of a placeholder than anything. Anyway, we'll ignore that. There's another one on the other side that we'll get to in a moment. We're going to remove the battery first. As you saw, isopropyl alcohol is definitely your best friend. It's going to help remove the battery safely and not bending it. Samsung batteries rarely bend anyway. They're usually pretty solid batteries, but if you ever do bend them, there's a high chance it might pop on you. There we go, there's the battery. So that's pretty much all the frame. There's not much else to take out. We're going to put everything back into the new frame. So that's pretty much everything out the phone, literally everything. So if you have a broken battery, if you have a broken screen, broken charging port, broken earpiece, broken camera, well, now you know how to fix any of it. Hopefully that helps a little bit. But we're going to get this all put back together now. And as I mentioned, there is one more piece in the bottom corner that we're going to need to put back in as well. We'll just throw the battery in first because it was one of the last things that came out. Get that little metal piece up in the corner back in. At this point, the motherboard can go back in as well. It just kind of falls into place, and if it's sticking up anywhere, that's not very good. Make sure you do not push too hard and bend it, but it will have to clip back into place. Here's right where I noticed the piece missing on the new frame. It was like there's a blank spot missing. I thought it was a 5G modem again, but nope. It's just this little piece screwed in. Now it could still be the 5G antenna or something, but like, again, I don't see anywhere where this can possibly connect to the main board or anywhere else. Seems to be just kind of a placeholder, but we're going to remove it and put it into the new frame just to be better safe than sorry. As you saw, it was screwed in by 2 screws, and they were not similar to any other screw in this phone, so do not mix them up. Get that into the new frame, put it back in, or get it screwed back in, I should say. Now we can get the signal wires into the little groove that they came out of on the other screen. So it's probably helpful to actually get them in this groove, and now it is a pain in the butt to get them back in properly, but it is definitely worth it. Otherwise you'll have pieces lifting up, or even they'll get in the way of the back plastic piece, and then you'll have it lifting up as well, and that will not look good. Before we get the right side signal wires all connected up and everything, we're going to get the charging port back in, but before we do that, of course, do not forget the vibration motor. has to go in first, and then the charging port goes on top. From this point onward, we can get the screen connected up, we can get that front-facing fingerprint scanner connected back up. So once that's in, now all we have to do is get that one screw that we took out earlier and get it back into place. It holds down, as I said, the charging port a little bit, and it goes into the fingerprint scanner. Now we can actually align up the cables on the one side back into the frame. Much easier than the other side, actually. It was not that bad. Now, since that's all set up on the bottom, we just have to work on the top a little bit, so we'll get the main camera and the other one back in. Once those two are back in, we can get the middle the connector that goes from the top to bottom, or we can get that back in as well. Do not forget the front-facing camera, my bad. Can do either or first, I guess. Here's that bridge piece. Make sure it's clipped in. It is a long connector, so if it doesn't clip in all the way, it might not be functional completely, or it might not work at all. Just make sure it's all the way in. And we're getting close to finishing up this repair, or this teardown. We just have a few more pieces to go, and then getting the screws back in, and then we're pretty much done. Here's one screw up on the motherboard that we have to put back in as well. Once everything is connected up, we can put the battery in finally, or connect it up, as I should say, and we can turn on the phone now. We will have to push on the motherboard a little bit just to allow it to connect up to the buttons, but we're gonna test it out real quick and make sure that it turns on at this point. Look at that, it turns on perfectly. We're gonna test the touch after we finish doing the repair. For now, we're just gonna keep putting it back together. So we'll get the back plastic piece on again. Make sure you do connect up the wireless charging pad first. Do not forget that. I assume you'll want wireless charging, and I'm pretty sure the S20 FE supports reverse wireless charging as well, but I mean, it's been a long time since I used the Samsung, so I could be wrong on that. I'm just going to speed through the putting the screws back process. Almost done the top part. Now we got to put the bottom speaker back in. It'll clip in the same way the top one did. Get all its screws back in now. Put the wireless charging pad back over top of it. Remember, it is a little bit sticky to attach to that. Just going to keep speeding through the screw process. I know it's a long one. And yeah guys, anyways, once we're done getting the screws in, now we can put the back plastic piece back on, and that's pretty much how you do an S20 FE screen repair. So that's pretty much it guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe. If you didn't like it for whatever reason, feel free to let me know why in the comments. I always do appreciate the feedback as well, of course. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this repair or teardown. Just going to test it out a little bit further, make sure it is doing what it should do. It looks good. Touch seems to be going good everywhere. And yeah, still a popular phone. The S20 FE is just a great value, I'd say. Anyways, guys, just gonna get that SIM tray back in. Hope you all have a good one. Stay safe, and peace.